Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Well. Hello and welcome to the Daily Women Football Podcast, Beyond the Pitch, brought to you by the Global Sport Podcast Network. Oh, what a great day today. I am so happy. First of all, because it's sunny and bright. And in the past, I don't know, gazillion of podcasts, I've always recorded in the evening and I look dark and grey, and so is the outside. And secondly, I am podcasting with my favorite fake Italian.
Fake Italian now. I thought I was the original Italian. Oh,
the only OG Italian of the podcast. When are you joining us for the Italian podcast, by the way?
I'm on 36 days strong on my Duolingo. I'll be there soon.
Brava pagina, brava.
Grazie.
Anyway, I'm so happy we haven't podcasted together for ages.
I know. Too long.
Anyway, so 3 topics as usual. In today's podcast, we will be talking about every fan's dream. Well, definitely would be mine, and definitely would be something I would do as well.
Yeah.
Talking balls, and then Adidas Women's Euro kit drops. And that is something massive that I have to say about it. Well, like as usual, I always have something to say about anything anyway. But let's start with the very first topic. So every fan's dream, or at least a lot of us. Basically, a little contest. What happened? Patrick and Francis Connolly hit the lottery jackpot. They won 115K. And what did they do? Not a house, not a car, not a holiday. Well, maybe they also did something like that. But they actually bought a percentage, so a 25% stake in the Durham Women Football Club, which is their club. Yeah! I'm just going to put it out there, Patrick or Francis, if one of you is single, give me a call.
If one of you is single, considering they bought it as a couple together, maybe you could be a throuple with them. They might be interested in that. Give some Italian season into their relationship.
Well, it's 2025. Let's not box things in, the way it used to be 50 years ago. We are woke, all of that. Anyway, let's back into the topic. No, I think it's fantastic. Not gonna lie, it is something I have, considered. When I started my career into football, the idea was for me to, the reason why I started is because I wanted to become a general manager of a football team, and then eventually maybe having my own small team. Very inspired by Alison, Nicole, who is the owner of Worcester City Women Football, who did exactly that journey. And I think is doing incredible. So I mean, that's crazy. I mean, what a dream come true for sure, right?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, to win 115,000, that's one dream come true, I'm sure, to win any sort of jackpot lottery. But yeah, I think just having the opportunity to like buy a football club, obviously not a full football club, but like buy something that you support so heavily, like this is their team, they watch them week in, week out, and they're a small club in terms of their independence from being, associated or affiliated with any men's team, which there's only 2 in the championship that are like completely independent of men's football, which one is great. And to see them in the championship and then potentially being able to push on into the WSL, like they're currently 4th in the championship. So they're really on the cusp of doing something amazing. And I think obviously Patrick and Francis, their hope is to, support the development of the club, building a new stadium, which ultimately will bring more revenue for this independent club, and the hopes of them progressing into the WSL in, maybe years to come, sooner than rather than later, I'm sure, from their perspective. And yeah, I just think it's just awesome. Like, I think everybody would want to have some sort of an investment in their own football club in that capacity if they could. Like, especially it being a women's team, your local club, like it must just feel so amazing to be able to do that. One, for like such a local team to you, one that you've supported, and one that that investment can go so far. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens as a result of it. Go ahead. They need a program. Get them a TV
Yeah, I
show.
think so. There's a few things I would like to say in this, but I'm conscious of timing, and I know I always talk too much. But
No, you. No.
I got an award for it. Yay! Anyway, no, like I've said it so many times. Cross-pollination is the only way to innovate. I've learned that when I worked in technology. Fashion is picking up on that, thankfully, in the past few years. Technology has done it long before and is so forward thinking about it. And I'm so glad to see the football, especially women football, is now open to that. So I think because it's been so downgraded for so many years, that if they would have bought a stake in a men's football team, yeah, sure, great, etc. But I think they probably would have had less press, less support from the community, less everything. But you do something for women football team, the whole community come out and about, and I really love that. I really
Yeah.
love that you can be experimental. And let's not downplay. I'm not saying you are in general. Let's not downplay any of this, because the same structure. So I'm going into a journey here, but the same strategy that can be applied in any other business can be applied in a football team, right? Would it be marketing? It could be e-commerce. It could be strategy, anything. And we can see some of the football team doing it very well. Mine being one of them from a business point of view, right?
Oh,
From a
yeah.
business point of view. And Brighton too.
From any other
Brighton.
point of view, Spurs aren't doing anything well.
I
But
said business point of view. Well, Brighton as well. Brighton incredible with regard to business wise. Yeah, it's football team, men and women, both. So the point is that by having people that come in with a fresh look, with a different thing, with bringing new idea, with the fact that they are not thinking like, well, that's the way we've always done it. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't work. Let's move on with time. You can see what happened at Wrexham. Yes, sure. The push of money in, the fact that, you've got a super mega celebrity as an owner that leverage all the people that he knows, the marketing, the material, the exposure. Sure, it helps. But it also helps to show you put some effort in there, because he didn't just go like, okay, bam, 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 let's spend all the money and let's go. They've built it, right? They've built it with the community. They were very careful about it. And look at what happened. It's incredible. It's beautiful.
It's a lot more organic the way that they've done it, even though, yes, as you say, there's a massive influx of celebrity and finance into it. They've also chosen a club that has such a community sort of feel about it in the first instance. Like, I think even watching like the program, and I've not watched every single episode of the series, but like you can already see that Wrexham was built into people's day-to-day lives. And I think when you've got clubs all across the country that are already built into those communities, it's just having then that business or that money influx that then bolsters that. And yeah, you're right. You could probably do it with any club if you did it in the right way and you recognized what the community loves about it, what the community needs from it, and really supporting that as a development strategy. So
yeah, that's what I love. And I hope they are going to do the same. So, Durham is a beautiful place. It's, is a small place as well, the same as Wrexham.
Yeah.
It's not one of those places that, it can become like, it's not catered to hold as many people, for example, as a city like Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool, of course, London, or the bigger cities. So you have to be very conscious about how you're building this type of thing. That's what I'm saying. You can learn so much from business. I mean, I say this very often, I love the intersection between football and business, and the fact that there is so much space to innovate in the football, especially, of course, women football is super open to it. You can see what, the new code WPLL is doing with all these innovative ideas, which are not, they are innovative in football, but they're not innovative. It's like, yeah, other industries have done it before because it's obvious. It's not obvious in football. But anyway, I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to, following their journey and see what they're going to do. And it's just very, very, very exciting. On the other side of the pond, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, the other side, just crossing the Atlantic on the other side, we have another news, which is you go for it.
So Thames, Nigerian-born singer, who obviously a lot of people in the UK will be familiar with, is the firstborn African woman to become an owner in the MLS, which I think tick, celebrate, round of applause, etc. So her company, the Leading Vibe, have joined the San Diego FC, which is an expansion team who will make their debut in the 25-26 season. So a super exciting, obviously, season ahead for them. But I just think another mention and another opportunity to sort of shout out the fact that like more women are getting involved in football, like that cross intersection of like media and sport. I think Thames says, the reason that she wanted to sort of get involved in this investment was purely because her brothers are heavily like invested in football. Like most sisters, they have brothers who love football. Maybe they never had that love, but she's then found the platform to be able to then support. And I think it's just exciting to have more women involved in football, and especially then in the men's game and taking it global as well, being in the MLS, which obviously that the way that they do things with the expansion teams and stuff is like a really new and fresh, not new necessarily, but like fresh take compared to obviously what we have here in the UK. So yeah, it's just another shout out to more women doing great things within the sports space and having the platform to be able to do it. I'm sure, like, I don't know what sort of ownership percentage, etc., that she has, but I'm sure she's got a really core and great group around her that are going to be able to sort of lead that investment in the right way. And we'll see what San Diego FC have to sort of say and to do over the coming seasons. But we wish them all the best of luck and shout out Thames for making that step.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements, designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimize your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Second topic of the day. We are talking about the Women's UEFA Champions League ball.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I just thought...
What is whoop, whoop?
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, be more excited. You picked this topic. Whoop, whoop.
No,
whoop,
I just think that this is just an exciting part of football that, to me, like, footballs as an item are like embedded so much within like my childhood. And I was always so excited to see like what the new ball was for like the new Premier League season or the Champions League, etc., etc. And a lot of these balls have kind of got like nostalgic vibes to them. Like I could go on and talk about the new Total 90 ball, like the new release of that. Like I just think it's so cool, and there's so much nostalgia that come with balls because when you see them, you think of a season. And obviously, we're now talking about the Women's Champions League, but like, I think again, in years to come, we might look back at this ball and be like, oh, that's the ball that was the Arsenal winning ball or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they give such nostalgic memories and moments. And yeah, we can't have football without an actual football. So why not? Let's talk about it. Adidas unveiled the new official UEFA Champions League ball, Women's Champions League ball, ahead of the tournament's knockout stages. So if you haven't already seen the ball, I definitely suggest you give it a Google, have a search, maybe check out our Instagram because we'll have it posted on there. But the ball features like a striking design which pays homage to the host city, which is...
But can we say it in a proper way, not in the English way?
Go ahead.
Lisboa.
So white and blue base, accented by geometric designs inspired by the capital of Portugal's Azulios. Come on. Am I Portuguese?
I don't speak Portuguese. I speak Spanish.
Basically.
I'm going to say that's probably Azulejos.
Azulejos.
I would think so.
Yes, azulejos. So intricately painted ceramic tiles which decorate buildings throughout the city. We've all seen them. If you've been to Portugal, if you've been around, you've probably watched programs. Yeah, they're everywhere. So this season's match balls have been the most sustainable that Adidas has ever produced, which again, another massive round of applause. This episode is just a round of applause, honestly. So it's made using recycled polyester and water-based ink. Let that sink in. And in addition,
let that ink sink in.
Let the ink sink in. Sink ink. Wow. Anyway, in addition, each layer of the ball features eco-friendly materials such as corn fibers, sugarcane, wood pulp, and rubber. Okay, again, like we're ticking boxes over here. We're doing bits for the environment. But despite the change in materials, the three stripes, as always, did not skimp on the technology. A debossed surface allows for improved precision, aerodynamics, whilst an outer texture coating offers secure grip and complete control. So you know there's going to be no one with any complaints about the ball. I'm telling you now. Even Mikel Arteta, who wants to complain about every single ball. But anyway.
Maybe he was I mean, I need to be careful here because obviously I'm a Spurs supporter. So when I talk about Arsenal, sometimes I have to take my hat off and be very objective. But it could be that Adidas, considering they are sponsoring also and they collaborate with Arsenal, they might have asked him to test the ball to make sure it's not too light,
Yeah, maybe, but I don't think Arteta will be performing in the Women's Champions League this year, so maybe they look to others to get it tested. But anyway,
I mean, as a knowledgeable consultant. Well, why not? Maybe they did. Anyway, no.
On a whining mess of a man who always
on a more serious note. Two things to say. So, I'm not planning to go to the final unless Chelsea is in there. So I am actually planning to go to the final because I think this is the year Chelsea is going to lift that trophy. So yeah, most likely I will be there. But on another note, I think it's beautiful. How very aware nowadays, brands. Of course, there's always a bit of, business behind the marketing return and, whatever. But I love the fact that they are very, very aware, that they're now very conscious and they go like, okay, wait a minute. Yes, it's a ball, but, where is the final? Let's have a look at the historical, what is important in there. Let's respect the environment. Let's do all of that. I don't know if you've seen it, that UEFA yesterday posted about the fact that every single team that is in the Champions League, this is across both genders, will need to have an officer for sustainability. They have to have a proper person.
Oh, really?
It's not just like, oh yeah, we'll look into that. It's like, no. If you are in the Champions League, some of the money that you get from the competition, and is a lot, needs to be allocated to that. So, like the Premier League in I think in the past 2 years, for example, in England, has allocated fund for every club down to, I think, tier 4 or even tier 5, if I'm not wrong, to have a dedicated supporter officer so that they can develop the supporters, they can bring people back to the stadium, they can do all of that. And now the UEFA is doing something very similar into the world of sustainability. And it's beautiful to have a look at it. And would we make a massive difference? Yes, actually, we will. The more we are going to do things, the more people will work on it, the more difference it will be. It can start from very small, sure, and it might not feel a lot, but then we'll have the triple effect. So like, I RSVP to an event, the WEuro, I think it's called, final, which is played between the EFL's club, I think Champions League first, championship, EFL first and second tier. Is a WEuro trophy. It's played at Wembley next month, I think.
Men's or women's?
April.
Men's or women's?
No, men's, sorry. But when I RSVP to that, to the invite, it also asks, how far do you need to travel? What method of transport will you be using? Will you be using your car at all? Will you be using only public transport? And the fact that people start to be a little bit more conscious of this. Now, we are talking about the final is in Portugal, right? I just read this week, actually, a couple of days ago, that Portugal has introduced this pass for trains. I don't know if you read it, where for a certain amount of money, which is really cheap, I think it's something silly, like, I don't know, 30, 40 euros per month. You can use any train across the country, so you can travel wherever by train. Now, imagine if we could do something like that in here. I'm not saying,
gosh.
okay, 40 quid is, okay, wait, 40 quid is unsustainable in England. But if there would be an option where if you know you're traveling for a month, you can buy a pass, which is not really expensive. You cannot get like the super fast train. You need to get like the slower train. Like in Italy, you have a regional train, which is slightly slower. Fine, but people will travel in a more sustainable way. I love that. I love all of that thought behind it. I think it's beautiful.
The consideration is great, and I think, I think even similar. I mean, this is obviously going off on a little bit of a tangent, but they were trying to do something similar for the Euros, for the women's Euros across Switzerland, and I don't know if that's still happening, but we can talk about that maybe on the next episode. But
it will. It will.
We will.
No. It will happen.
Oh,
it will happen.
Okay. It will.
No, it will happen for sure. So they already did it for the Euros in Germany, right? If you had a ticket for the game, you could travel. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where from. You could just travel to the games. As long as you can prove you had a ticket to the game, you were in one place of the country, you wanted to go to the game, you could travel. Again, the same thing with their regional trains. So not the super fast ones, but the one that take a little bit longer. But to be honest, very few people were checking trains because I was there and I was traveling. And I am sure it will happen the same in Switzerland. So the same thing, they have super fast train, which are normally more expensive, etc. But I think everybody will be able to board the other train, which is just beautiful.
Yeah, 100%. Well, if you haven't already taken a look at the Women's Champions League ball and you want to, please have a look. It is a work of art, as is the men's for Munich. Again, a similar take on it. But I just think, the nostalgia that footballs have and will continue to have is just a beautiful part of the game. And I love it. And I hope you guys do too. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. The Zencastr came out the clear winner, with 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs. It's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Yeah, Zencastr. Anyway, last but not least, in the last few minutes, back again, talking about Adidas. Disclaimer, we are not sponsored by Adidas. We don't have anything done with Adidas. It just that it happens today. We have this couple of topics. So Adidas, what did they do? Not only they dropped the ball for the Champions League, but also they dropped the women's Euro kit, including Spain, Germany, Sweden, Belgium, Italy, and Wales. Now,
can I just semicolon or asterisk away kits? Just the away kits.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the away kits. So
case,
not. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No, but that's fine. That's good. It's good. It's good. The away kit. Now, right. So, what's very interesting for me as an Italian is that Adidas also they did it for the men Euro last year. They're really playing with the green color of Italy, and I love that because, and I think Nat and I are gonna do an Italian episode about it as well, about the origin of the blue color for the Italian. Because if you think about it, so our flag is red, white, and green. Yep. Yeah, our T-shirt is blue. And that comes from like the very, very past royal colors. They used to use a lot of blue. Yeah, but it's like, let's move on. It's 2025. Yes. I love traditions, etc. And I know that, the Italian team is called Gli Azzurri, which means, the
blues, right?
Well, kind of like it means the light blue ones, because the blue ones are the French ones. But yeah, basically, yes. But I also think like, yeah, but it's, I don't know. I like that. So last year in the Euros, they had also like, I don't remember if it was like like an awake, not an awake kit, like a training kit or warming up kit or something that was green. And I was like, oh, that is so beautiful. And I think the feedback was really good about it. And that's why Adidas is playing on that, because the away Italian kit is white and green, and it's got all this Renaissance flavors and everything, but it plays with the flag's color, and I love it.
So does a question for you as an Italian, as well, fake Italian, but I'll get your input. Does the colors of green, white, red resonate more with you than the color of blue, or will blue always resonate with Italians, but you are also seeing maybe the opportunity to progress and just give a little bit of a new take on the flag? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like that. Like, I guess it also depends when you were born, right? So for me, if you tell me for example, if you tell me England, yeah, for me the England kit is red.
Okay.
For me, it's red. When I see England playing is in white, yeah, sure, it's nice. I get it. I understand it. But I really miss the red kit. Like that. That's England for me. It's not white. But that's also because some of the very first games that I watched back in the days, were played with the red kit. And so for me, the white is, sure, yeah, the flag is red and white. So it's both. But then white and blue, I mean, fine, because it's like the Tottenham shirt, so I'm happy with the colors. But I just think, like, why? Like, where is that from? Like, I don't know. So I think you're representing your country. It's nice that you also have a bit of, heritage stuff in there. So yes, the thing is that, in all the famous photos of Italy winning stuff, and not just in football, rugby, athletics, everything, obviously is the blue. But then if I really look deep into it, the history and everything else, etc., I'm just like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's like, they're all wearing this blue, uniform or kit or set. And then they are holding up this flag. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. Maybe like starting to play a bit more into, I don't know, blue, I don't know, shifting away a little bit. I think we could do that. I really think we could do that, but I don't know, let's see. I think the Italian flag resonates more to me than the blue.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as a collection of kits, I actually think they're really, really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, I think the colors that they've used, the palettes that they've used for each kit, like, they're very, this sounds so woke, but they're very gender neutral in the fact that I think even the Welsh kit, which to me, that lilac color is very more feminine. I think with the green, like, and probably also the way it's styled, like on the Adidas campaign and stuff, and put on a boy, like, I really think it looks so good. And all of the visuals for all of them, I think, is really cool. The fact that they all kind of have their own individual personality, and they've all been styled. Like, I can imagine any of these people going to a football match dressed in the way that they're dressed. And I think that that's what I love, and what the sort of the new wave of football kits and the possibilities of them is, like, styling them. Whenever I go to a game, my mum's always like, why do you have to dress up so much? You're only going to a football match. And it's like, yeah, but like, I want to wear my shirt, but I don't just want to wear it like a hoodie and a shirt over the top, which is like traditionally what people would always have worn, or just obviously no hoodie at all because it's summer at that point or whatever. But yeah, I think the kits are awesome, and I would definitely encourage, if you haven't already, go and take a look. They're obviously posted all over Adidas's website, all on their socials, etc. And you can find out sort of a little bit more about them, as we've already kind of gone into a little bit about the Italian kind of kit being about that sort of realism, naturalism movement of the Renaissance period. You've got obviously the Spain rooted in Cubism movement of the 20th century, creating abstract visuals. There's like so much interest that you can take from each of the kits. And yeah, I'm excited and eager to look at, well, first of all, what the home kits look like for Adidas and for those countries, but also to see what Nike bring out for the remaining countries. But yeah, I definitely love the ones that they've brought out so far. And I feel often are disappointed with what England end up wearing, because I think we focus too much on being white. And it really jars me, because I do think that there's so much more to our country than just white kits. I think if you look back on some of the best tournaments that England men, let's say, because that's where we often like our focus turns, but like I remember there was like a red and a navy blue kit, which you could it was reversible. So you could wear red on one side and navy blue on the other. And I just think that like, even just bits like that, like that's a kit that I can go back to and I remember. And the red kit with sort of like, kind of look like stars or dots on them. Like some of those kits were actually unreal. And I think even the women's Lioness one that they brought out, which was kind of like that deeper red, that was like a Lioness sort of exclusive one. I just think there's so much more you can do when you don't just have a white shirt. But saying that, you have teams like Real Madrid who I think absolutely smash their white kits year on year. So I don't know. I'm excited.
That's the color. But that's the color I think when I think of Real Madrid. I don't think any other color.
Exactly.
I don't think any other color. I've always seen them playing with some sort of white. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like I don't.
But I think they do it well. That's what I'm saying. They do a white kit well, but I don't know that England do so much.
You're a bit of an Adidas fan, really.
I'm not.
You are, because you're mentioned, but it's not Adidas as in like the brand itself, but as in like the thought behind it and how they design it. This is not just about the brand. I mean,
the storytelling of all brands really is smashing it right now.
Yeah, like before we close this episode, I want to say something. I want to credit every single person that works on this shoot, because I used to work in this. I used to be a hairstylist. I used to be a production. I used to work with the makeup artist. I used to work with the stylist. And to pull together something like that looks so casual. So like, if I see, like, if I have a look at the main photo, so like the Adidas put out as marketing to present all of the kit, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 8 people in there. And they all look like 8 men, 8 mates standing there, just chilling. And everything is so thought through, everybody's styled in their own way. From the way the socks are on someone's leg, slightly down, not really up, or all the way up, etc. Everything is thought through. There is so much creative process behind it, not just the designing of the kit, but also the presentation and how the hairstyle and how the makeup is done, everything. And I just wanted to credit all of the creative, because it looks like, it's just so easy, but there is literally so much creative thought behind it. And sometimes when I look at this thing, I'm just like, oh, I really miss it. Maybe I should go back into that. And just now that football is moving so much into fashion, or fashion is moving so much into football, especially the women's one, for me, it's so good to see.
Take me on the journey with you. Take me with you.
To see my two worlds, like blending together like that. I'm just like, finally. So anyway, well done. But sadly, I think this is all we have time for today. So thank you for joining us on another episode of Beyond the Pitch, the Women Daily Football Podcast. And we look forward to be with you on the next one. It's a goodbye from me.
And a ciao from me.
Oh, yeah.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.